Good evening and welcome to it. This is Chess and Wine. My name is ADB Lan. I'm back with some political updates on the front of Chess South African politics. The Chess SA Council is speaking. We are seeing that there are some communications coming from some provinces who are members of the. I've always thought that who are members of the Chess SA Chess Council, the biggest, what is the greatest power? That is obviously the leaders of Chess South Africa. In fact, I always thought that Eastern Cape Chess was the only one that was vocal against this this executive. But maybe it was just because of the friction that was happening in the Eastern Cape. But it turns out that is other provinces are also noticing that there's something. Well, let me just read quickly to you the letter that I've just seen that is coming from the Northern Cape Chess province, right? Northern Cape Province Chess has written a letter to the president of Chess South Africa. It says, "Dear President, Mr. Andrew Lewaks, in the absence of a general secretary, kindly find below the Northern Cape Chess text motions in terms of section 19.9 of the Chess South Africa Constitution for the OGM." Quickly, let's just look at what the section 19.9 speaks. So I think that's in chapter 4 of the South African Chess South Africa Constitution, which speaks of on the powers of the National Council, I believe. So in 19.9, it says the text of any motion which any member wishes to be put to and considered by the OGM, that is Ordinary General Meeting, right, shall be received not less than 21 days prior to the date of such meeting by the General Secretary, who shall disseminate it by post and or by hand and or by fax and or by electronic mail, together with the final agenda to all ordinary members, special members and associate members, not less than 14 days prior to the date of such a meeting. So it seems like there's an OGM schedule to happen. Whew. And this sounds like it's moving towards if it's obviously a text motion. I'm thinking it's like proposing a motion, whether it's a motion of confidence or motion of no confidence. So I'm thinking this is a proposal of a motion of something. So it reads as follows: in the absence of the general secretary, like it's stated in the constitution that this is meant to go through the general secretary, right? So. Kindly find the below Northern Cape Chess text motions in terms of section 19.9 for Chess SA for the OGM. Number 1, awarding of Chess SA colors to academy players and the disregard of the council resolution. It's no longer me speaking. It's no longer Chess and Wine. It's no longer Eddie. This is now coming from a council member, a province. So I was right. It seemed like it, and I did point it out in that video, that it seemed like there are some players who actually went on to wear the colors, even though some may have not, but it seems like there are some players that went on, academic players who have worn colors. Wow. Okay, point number 2, team managers report, including challenges and the financial implications of being a team manager. What happened now? Excuse me, but who was the team manager? Wasn't Carol Fieri the team manager for Team South Africa at the African list? Carol Fieri, as in the what's his name? The treasurer of Chess South Africa and president of Northwest Chess, the province. Obviously, another issue, but he was the team manager, I think, for Team South Africa. And are there financial implications, or are they speaking to... Wait, this is crazy. Team managers report, including challenges and financial implications of being a team manager. Okay, this needs explanation. I'm hoping that we get somebody that can clarify this for us. And then number 3, meetings of the executive executive board and non-compliance with section 24.17 of the Chess SA Constitution. I need to quickly look at that. All right, so we were going to look at section 24.17 of the Constitution and see what it says quickly. Section 24.17, the General Secretary shall, so those are the roles and responsibilities of the General Secretary, send to all members and all members of ExBo written notifications of all meetings of ExBo and the proposed agenda within the stipulated time period prior to the date of the proposed meeting. Wait. The General Secretary. So is that in case of as an issue as in the absence of the general meeting? Copies of minutes of resolutions, all meetings of ExBo within 15 working days after the date. Okay, send all members. That's actually the responsibilities of the General Secretary. So now, what is the implication of this? So what does this mean? So basically, it says meetings of the executive board and non-compliance with Section 24.17 of the Chess SA Constitution. Oh snap! So because they don't have a general secretary and they continue working as an executive board. So that means maybe there's no compliance to many of these things. So there's no general secretary that sends this notifications to so the written notifications of all meetings of the ExBo, which needs to be sent to all members of the ExBo. Maybe that's not happening. Copies of minutes and resolutions of all meetings of ExBo within 15 working days after the date of the meetings. Maybe that's not happening. So basically all of these things are not happening because there is no Secretary General in Chess South Africa, and they can't continue having executive board meetings without a general secretary. And probably they continue to have such. Maybe the Northern Cape Chess is of the knowledge that they are having such meetings already without the presence or the appointment or the election of a general secretary, which is very concerning. Wow. Okay, Northern Cape. Okay, I'm thinking that some of the things we need to sit and watch the actual politicians deal with these things, because these people know what they're doing. So yeah, there's that, right? And then you can actually trust the council. I always said you can always leave all trust to the Council of Chess South Africa. Okay, and point number 4, it says provincial presidents serving on the executive board. Yes. Another issue, just case in point, is just mentioning right now that there's a president of what's his name of Northwest, Sekiro Lefiedi, who's serving as the treasurer. The president of Gauteng Chess is serving as vice president, and who am I missing? The president of KZN Chess, Lindokuhle Ngumane, serving as vice president 1. That's the issue. And number 5, exit interview by the Chess SA Council with the previous general secretary as an industry practice in institutional organizations and good governance. Wow. Basically, we want to find out, that's what this letter is saying, why the general secretary resigned. So that's the exit interview. So why hasn't the executive board organized the exit interview with the council? Because the council needs to find out, so that basically, what I was saying when this one time I don't even remember what issue we were talking about. Oh yeah, when they're trying since they're trying to remove Lizzo in the Eastern Cape, that they must find out what are the causes of his failure so that it doesn't repeat again or something like that. So now they need to find out why the general secretary has decided to resign, so that before they appoint or they elect another secretary, those issues are ironed out before we move on, so that we don't have another general secretary resigning because of the same issues. You see what I mean? So wow. Okay, wow. Okay, now this is actually a very good letter. This is actually an interesting letter. This is good stuff. I'm not sure if it'll lead to a motion of no confidence or anything like that, but obviously it's a motion of things that need to be discussed, that need to be debated, that need to be clarified. So the motion of no confidence is just something that I'm still thinking might be on the pipeline, but if not, we're still okay. But these issues need to be communicated. So yeah, and quickly let's just look at the executive board of Northern Cape Chess. Let's see. In the Northern Cape Chess, you've got Northern Cape Chess Executive Committee members, Mr. Warren Ajum, the president. Okay, that is no, okay, so the general secretary, he must have some information. Even though the letter is written by the secretary, Ms. Chenny Jeffries, right? Which obviously makes sense. But I'm thinking now, Mr. Warren Ajum must have some info on the reason why the general secretary left and wants that to come to the fore. Because Warren Ajum, remember the general secretary was Mrs. Lizzle Ajum, right? So there must be some info that he has from Pillow Talks that he needs the whole general council to be aware of. So otherwise, this letter would not be pushing for that exit interview, even though obviously there's the standard practice, it's needed. But this letter has Just be in my thing. All right, and who else is there? The deputy president is vacant. They've got a secretary, Ms. Chenny Jeffries, the one that just wrote this letter. There's Mr. M. Gerald Niels, who's the treasurer. There's Miss Lehumo Lekheto, an additional member, and there's Miss Lerato Leburu, who's an additional member. And I've got a National Schools Chairs representative as vacant, and then Mr. Kolane Matebula as the provincial head coach. Okay, we see that. Wow, this is very interesting stuff. So yeah, I don't know if this needs to be supported or just by it being proposed by a council member stands that is there. So hopefully this gets discussed and we'll just get some info afterwards on what transpired. So obviously this must be about 21 days before. So the letter was issued on the 12th. So that means 21 days before that, on the 23rd, 24th, somewhere in July, they're going to have that OGM, the Ordinary General Meeting. And the handover's already happened, I think. Yeah. Anyways, I was actually here just to update you on this development. This is a very big development. This is something that we need to know. We need to be aware of the fact that the council does not agree with everything that this executive board is doing. And I've said this. So I've said this. The council doesn't. So everything needs to be ratified through the executive. Obviously the council, right? So the executive board, yes, is in charge as a management committee, but the true rulers, the true leaders, we know it's the council. So yeah, this must go back to the council, and then we'll find out afterwards what has happened, what has transpired. We hope that the handover went very well, was successful today, and Chair South Africa, the executive board, has all of the access to all the letterheads, computers, the finances, all the bank accounts. Apparently, there's a lot of bank accounts under South Africa has a lot of bank accounts apparently. So we don't know if they've got all access to all of those, and yeah, and then maybe things will start moving on smoothly forward. You see, the council and the ExBo working together, and then we'll deal with the issue of having a general secretary. We can't continue without a general secretary. How long do you plan to continue without a general secretary? But anyways, this has been it. This is Chess and Wine. Good evening and good night.